Okay, hi, I'm Hansi Oppenheimer, and I run the Squee project, and I'm working on a series of.
I'm sorry. There's a message on my screen and I'm trying to read it. I'm so sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. It went recording in progress, and then I couldn't read it because I'm vain and don't have my glasses on. Okay, sorry. Oh. Okay, good now.
So I've asked my friend Judy Pancoast, who was a great supporter on the Joe Lansdale documentary, and also has many skills, and I'll allow her to introduce herself.
Okay, well, hi. Let's see. I guess my biggest claim to fame is that as a singer-songwriter, I got nominated for a Grammy for Best Children's Album in 2011. But thank you. And let's see. I also dabble in writing. I'm a member of the Horror Writers Association, so yay. And oh, and I write musical theater, and I collaborated with Joe Lansdale and Keith Lansdale on a musical adaptation of Christmas with the Dead that will be hopefully coming to an audio version. With COVID and everything, we went to an audio version. That's coming first, and then hopefully on stage next year. And I am almost a lifelong fan of Jaws. I only discovered it when I was 15, so I can't say my whole life, but
Into that.
yes, yes, but I love Jaws.
The whole Squee thing. All right.
But this is probably my second strongest.
Yeah. So there are people I'm like at cons, and I know like whatever they're a fan of, but I'm like, I have no idea like your name is, but I know it's called Loki. One of the things, besides Joe Lansdale and that whole school of writing, we have very similar taste in writers. I know you're a huge fan of Jaws.
I don't hide it.
You shouldn't hide it. That's the whole point, the joy in being a fan of something.
Yeah.
Tell me how you first discovered it.
Well, I'm old enough to have seen it first time in the movie theater opening weekend. And it was in Portland, Maine. And I wish I could relive that experience because everybody was screaming. I mean, people actually got under their seats. It was crazy, and that I think was the best part of it for me. It was people's reactions, my reaction, people's reactions. So I just kept going back with people who hadn't seen it yet. And that summer of 1975, I turned 16 years old, and not by any plan, I also happened to see Jaws 16 times in the movie theater. Because back then, in the dark ages, we couldn't ever dream of owning a movie. So once a movie left the movie theater, you didn't know if you'd ever see it again unless it ended up on the ABC, Friday night movie or whatever. So I just kept going back, and I was there the very last night they showed it in October. I remember a school night, my father dropped me off and I was like the only person in the theater. And it seemed weird to see it in October, because it's such a summer movie. But I want to show you something. I dug this up just for this, Hansi. This is my scrapbook from my teenage years. It actually starts out with Al Pacino because I discovered him before I discovered Jaws. So there's a whole big section on Al, but then we get to this. We've got all this Jaws, and then there's an entire article on Jaws in here, and all this Jaws stuff, and then there's more Jaws over here, and then for some reason, I also liked Robert Redford because I'm a hair girl. I really love guys with good hair. And then, oh God, there's Henry Winkler, but you don't want to see him. Over here is a 1-minute interview with Roy Scheider. Can you see that? And Welcome Back, Kotter over here, because this is about the time I left Al Pacino for John Travolta. And then we have a close-up with Richard Dreyfuss. And then over here is a 1-minute interview with Robert Shaw and lots of other stuff. So this is my teenage scrapbook, which hasn't been taken out of the mothballs in years, but I took it out for you, Hansi, to prove my fandom. It's my badge of honor. Oh, and I also am wearing this necklace. I don't know can you see that? Okay, my mother bought me this. As a surprise, one day I came home and she says, look what I got for you. And so there's this necklace. And when I went to the Grammys, I wore a designer gown and this necklace. So yes. And what other thing? Oh, I have my shark earrings on. But anyway.
What is it about the film or, your interaction with the film, with the text, that makes it so meaningful to you? And then you keep going back to it.
For me, I was surprised when I heard people calling it a horror movie, because to me, it's not a horror movie. Even though I love horror movies, I never thought of it as a horror movie, because the killings and all the blood are not what stand out to me. What stand out to me is the man against the sea adventure. I'm from Maine. I love the ocean. I've always loved the ocean. So the idea that, I could sit on the shore for hours and wonder about what's out there. And so for me, the movie really gets going when they go out on the boat, and there they are out on the ocean, man against the sea, the three guys, just fighting this thing. And it's an adventure movie to me. And that's what I love about it. And of course, obviously the script is amazing. The camaraderie, so many laughs in between the scary parts, the crunching of the Narragansett can. And all those things. Stop playing with yourself, Lupa. All those things stand out for me. It's got everything. It's the perfect movie. Although there are a lot of bloopers in it, which I could tell you what they are, but.
Okay, one moment for that.
Okay. Okay.
Screw that.
I'm sorry. I get so excited. I don't know if you can see my Quint shirt either. So anyway, I have a lot of these Jaws shirts. It's Quint shark fishing thing. People buy me Jaws stuff for presents. Let's see. Can you see it better now? Yeah. Okay. All right. What were you going to ask me? You were going to ask me something. Let me fix this.
Yeah. So, I think it's an incredible quotable film, which is, kept it, in pop culture for so long.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times I've left people who I thought were idiots and are just like, you're all gonna die.
Right. It's part of the vernacular, right? They're all gonna die. Yeah.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. And
right, everything. It's
Buffy and so many other things. I think when a property becomes, that much a part of the pop culture, it's an interesting phenomenon, because there's probably people who've never been near the sea who are equally fans,
right,
or may not have this, didn't see it in the theater, but they're hard,
Although now there's always a theater somewhere every summer that's showing it. It's come back, and you can always find these. I just hosted a Jaws trivia at a theater nearby a couple of weeks ago, because people want to see it on the big screen.
Easiest question.
What's that?
What was the easiest question?
Oh my God, I don't even know. Oh yeah, where is Amity? What is Amity for real? Where was it filmed?
Oh, I don't know. I would say Nantucket, but I don't know.
Close. Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, okay.
Are you serious? You don't know?
No, because my genre.
Right. It's not your fandom. Yes, it was filmed on Martha's Vineyard, and we could go on and on. But
Yeah, Martha's Vineyard.
I have been there. If you go to Martha's Vineyard, which is Cape Cod, not very far from me. I'm a New Englander. There's a guy, and you can find him online, and he will give you a little walking tour of the sites that were in Jaws, and a lot of them are still the same. And he brings his iPad and he shows you the movie scene where where that thing took place. So that was really a highlight for me. We did that a couple of years ago, and there was this kind of big blowhard guy that was with us, thought he knew everything, right? This guy thought he was like jumping on the poor tour, guy giving the tour and interrupting him and all this. And I was like, okay, yeah, I know that. And then we get to the very end, and he goes, okay, let's see if you're really as big a Jaws fan as me. He goes, what's Hendrix' first name? And I said, Lenny. And he was like, whoa.
Who the hell is Hendrix?
Hendrix is the deputy. Hendrix is the guy who, blows the whistle when Chrissy's arm is found and then is he drinking Alka-Seltzer? That's Hendrix. Played by Jeffrey Kramer.
Let the guy keep the beaches open, and
he's the one that had to make the signs, but then Brody says, let Polly do the printing. And Hendrix goes, what's wrong with my printing? You need to watch this movie again.
Watched it July 4th.
Oh, did you? That's weird. A lot of people watch it July 4th. I always watch it Memorial Day weekend, because to me, that's the beginning of summer. And then I watch it again Labor Day weekend.
So, okay, so it appeals to a life right? It resonates because of where you're from and where it was shot.
Oh, right. Yes, that's true. Yep, that's true.
That's always an interesting point of entry. and then, sailing and, being on ships, right?
Right, which I never did when I was a kid. So I was enthralled with the idea of that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
spent some time preparing for, that didn't happen, a documentary on the wood building in ships in Gloucester.
Oh, really? Wow.
I spent a lot of time there, mostly at the Crow's Nest, but
Oh, wow.
in what's the Storm movie? It's in it's in another big fishing.
Perfect Storm. Yes. Also in New England. Also takes place in New England.
Yeah. And all the regulars were in it, and the regulars in dive bars in New England are the coolest.
Right, exactly. Yes. You find a lot of those.
But what continues your love of this? Is it, why?
Well, now it's probably just that it's become a part of me, people kind of identify me with Jaws, sort of, in a way. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really describe it. Can most people describe their fandoms to you?
No, but I'm still.
I'm passionate about it. It's more than a movie to me. It's become more than a movie to me. Wow. No one's ever really asked me this question, why it continues. I guess it brings back my youth in a way, but also, wow, I don't know.
I think you nailed it.
I tell you, it just brings me joy. It brings me joy. What can I say?